Well, let's get into some of the players. Let's meet the players for Unrivaled. A thing to note, guys, is I don't know if you all are watching this, but if you are not, please subscribe or follow Unrivaled on Twitter. The people who run their social media account are fabulous. The way that they're doing a process of unveiling unveiling players and giving hints and letting you and having people guess who the players are, and then revealing the players who are actually a part of the 30. It's really awesome. So I highly recommend you all follow them. I don't know who does their social, but it's great, whoever it is. All right, so let's start off with the first 3 players of the league. Of course, the first 2, we already knew who those were. It was Napheesa Collier and Breanna Stewart, the co-founders of this league. The third person we kind of knew already. It was Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray was previously already announced last year as a player who was going to be in this league, and they announced it. All right, and so sorry about Mr. President. Mr. President is excited about this league too. I just gotta say, guys, he is very, very much excited. So when it comes to most of the players that have been announced so far, almost all of them have some sort of international experience playing overseas in the offseason. So Napheesa Collier, as I said before, played for Fenerbahce. Breanna Stewart played for Fenerbahce. When it comes to Chelsea Gray, she also played overseas. She recently played in Turkey. I cannot pronounce the name of the Turkish club she plays for. She used to play for Kirkova, something like that. I apologize, I can't pronounce it. But she also has played overseas, and Chelsea Gray also now has a kid. And so, as players get older, as they change and whatnot, they want to stay home. And actually, you don't even have to get older to want to stay home. But she is another player who wanted the opportunity to be home in America and play professionally and still make some money. All right. Thing to note is that she is playing. She's with Team USA right now. Her, Napheesa, Breanna are overseas right now playing for Team USA. All right. Let's get to the next 3 players who were announced. So we had Arike Ogunbowale as the 4th player announced for this league. And Arike Ogunbowale, if y'all don't know her, you better get to know her, because she is a fantastic high-octane player. She shoots crazy shots all the time. She is a fantastic scorer. She has been in the top 5 of the WNBA when it comes to scoring for the last 5 seasons, okay? And that's also her first 5 seasons in the league. She has been absolutely fantastic in the WNBA. She also has played overseas as well. She used to play with a Russian club, and now she's coming stateside in the offseason and playing for Unrivaled. The 5th player that was announced for Unrivaled was Jewell Loyd. Jewell Loyd, the Gold Mamba herself. She is fantastic. You have 2 UConn players in Unrivaled, in Breanna Stewart and Napheesa Collier. You have 2 Notre Dame players in Unrivaled, in Arike Ogunbowale and Jewell Loyd. So they are representing for some of the big powerhouses when it comes to women's basketball. Okay, UConn is covered, Notre Dame is covered. Jewell Loyd is fantastic. She also is playing overseas right now in getting ready for the Olympics in Paris. Which is kind of cool. She has most recently played with a Spanish club overseas. And the last time she played overseas was several years ago. I believe it was at least 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, when she last played for an overseas team in Spain. So that is something to note. All right. So that is 1 through 6 in terms of players who are in this Unrivaled league. And also, guys, as you all are joining in, if you all could please give this video a like, that would be absolutely huge. It really does help more people find this video. If you all could hit that like button, please, and thank you. Also, if you all can share this with people, that would be awesome. There's a lot of people who have questions about Unrivaled, and send them this video and let them know, hey, here's all your random questions about this league. It's all answered right here. So share this video with somebody. That would be exceptional. Thank you very, very much. All right, let's continue on to the next crop of players who are in this thing. Actually, no, I missed the player. I missed the player on this other slide. I missed Kelsey Plum. I can't forget Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum, the University of Washington Husky herself. She is fantastic. She plays for Las Vegas Aces. Plum Dog can score some baskets. She can absolutely score some baskets. She is a two-time WNBA champion, back-to-back two-time WNBA champion with the Las Vegas Aces. She is a three-time All-Star. She used to play for Galatasaray. So Galatasaray is another sort of big Turkish club overseas that a lot of WNBA players play for. She's played for Galatasaray about 2 years ago. So in 2022, she played for Galatasaray. So again, the reason why I'm saying where they used to play is to let you all know that this is going to be huge for the 30 WNBA players who play who play in Unrivaled, because they don't have to go overseas, and that's a big thing when it comes to WNBA play. Big thing. Let's go on to the next three crop of players who joined the squad. We have Rhyne Howard with the Atlanta Dream. Rhyne Howard, former #1 pick. She is the best thing out of Atlanta, doing her thing, two-time WNBA All-Star. She currently plays for the Olympic 3x3 team, and if you've seen the 3x3 team play with Rhyne Howard, you know, guys, that Rhyne Howard is perfectly suited for this Unrivaled League. The reason why is because if you all saw in the All-Star game, for that 3x3 game that we saw, Rhyne Howard was cooking. Okay, and I have no doubt in my mind that once this season is over, this first season is over for Unrivaled, Rhyne Howard is going to be right at the top when it comes to MVP votes for this league, because Rhyne Howard, she's perfect for 3x3. She is. She has a motor, she has a shot, and she can just go and go and go and go and go. All right, so that is Rhyne Howard. She previously actually played for an Italian club. All right, but that was a while ago. That was a long while ago that she played for an Italian club overseas. Right now, you can actually find her on the sidelines of Florida. She is an assistant coach for Florida. She previously attended Kentucky, decided, her head coach was Kyra Elzy when she played for Kentucky. She decided this past offseason that she was going to be an assistant coach for Florida. And she's kind of went to a rival of sorts for the SEC. So from the court in Kentucky to the sidelines in Florida, Rhyne Howard is doing her thing. She is staying courtside or stateside again for this upcoming season. Now, the thing that still has to get worked out, I believe, is whether or not she can actually be an assistant coach for Florida and still be able to play in Unrivaled. The benefit is that Unrivaled plays in Miami, and so it might actually be possible that she can do both. Possibly. Though it has not been fully released in terms of whether or not she can do both. So that is something that is still TBD, but it is possible theoretically, because Miami going to Florida, it's not that hard of a thing to possibly do both. But more information on that later on, TBD. All right, let's continue on. So we go from one big shot maker, big shot taker player who can take you off the dribble and make something happen in Rhyne Howard, to a player that's just like her in Collier Copper. So Collier Copper is fantastic. She was the finals MVP when the Chicago Sky won the WNBA championship a couple years ago. She is on Team USA right now for 5-on-5 in Paris. She's fantastic. All WNBA All-Star. When we talk about a player like a Collier Copper, it's a similar thing to Rhyne Howard. Buckets, 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 buckets. And now Collier Copper has a way better shot than she used to, so she's even more dangerous. Even more dangerous as a player. She is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. So that's another player who is on Unrivaled. Also, a thing to note is that Collier Copper used to play overseas, so she did play in Turkey as well. A lot of WNBA players have played in either Turkey or Russia. That's something that you'll know if you sort of look in the like sort of look at the biography and look at the information about a lot of these players. Most of the top ones have at least played in Russia and or Turkey. And Collier Copper played overseas in Turkey for a little bit, but now she is. This past season, she was in the WNBA players marketing program. But before that, she actually was an assistant coach with Purdue University Northwest, right there in like it's not that far from me in Northwest Indiana. So that is something to note. Another player that we have is none other than Jackie Young on Unrivaled. So Jackie Young was the 9th player announced for Unrivaled. And when we talk about Jackie Young, she's just Jackie Young. She's a very stoic individual who kind of just does her thing, but is not like her talent tells everything. Basically, her talent tells everything. She is a player who has a shot. She is a player who plays some fantastic defense, which I am very interested to see specifically how defense is played in this Unrivaled League. I think that's going to be really, really interesting to see. But y'all, Jackie Young, another Notre Dame player, because you can't have enough Notre Dame players. Okay, former number 1 pick. It sort of fits with everything else that's happening, guys. She also did play overseas as well, so that is something to note. She played in Turkey. And I believe she also played in Australia as well. So she played in both Turkey and Australia. But again, like all the other players, they want to stay in the United States, and they now have the opportunity to stay in the United States now. So those are the 9 players that were previously announced. Okay, all of them have been in the WNBA for multiple years. All of them have also played overseas. All right, and now we get to the 10th player that was actually just recently announced just a couple days ago, and that is Angel Reese. So guys, Angel Reese was announced as the 10th player for Unrivaled. Now guys, this was a little bit of a shocker, especially to me, because I thought that we were primarily just going to see, WNBA players with a lot of experience in this league. But Angel Reese is the first rookie to sign on to Unrivaled. And so I think it's pretty cool. And it shows a lot of confidence that Unrivaled actually has, because again, their whole thing is we have the top 30 women's basketball players in our league. All right. And so the fact that Angel Reese is in this league, it's showing that, hey, they believe that she is a top 30 player. I think, to me, it's a shocker. Not that Angel Reese isn't good. She is very good. I just did not expect us to see a rookie make Unrivaled, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool that she's on there, and I think it's going to bring a lot of buzz. I think she's going to be. I think she's going to do well. Though I am pretty interested to see exactly how she translates to 3v3, because it's very different. 3v3 is very, very, very different than 5-on-5. Zola says Miami Barbie. Yep. Absolutely. Yes. Nat. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to add rookies, but they did decide to add some rookies, or at least one right now. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Will says, seriously, this is going to be fun. I absolutely agree. Kristen says Caitlin probably is going to be in it too. Possibly. Yeah. I mean, right now we only know 10 players. And if you all are following Unrivaled on social, you all see that they are slow walking all of this stuff. They are slow walking all the announcements, because they want to drag this out, and they want to make sure that, at least once or twice a week, you are reminded about Unrivaled Basketball League. And that's smart. Like, truly, again, guys, if y'all are not following Unrivaled on social media, do it, because the way that they are running this whole thing in terms of like the drip campaign and in terms of announcements and hints and all this, it is genius marketing, genius branding. Um, uh, Charles says, I'm not shocked. Double double. She's aggressive, which should translate to this game. Yeah, it for me, it wasn't about necessarily the talent. It's about the fact that she's a rookie. And again, when we look at the first nine players, um, they absolutely are. I'm sorry. What am I trying to say? They absolutely are pros. They've been in the WNBA for a long time. They've played overseas and whatnot. So I think that's more of the surprise that Angel's a rookie who's never been overseas, never done that type of stuff. But she's like, hey, I'm staying in the U.S. I'm make stuff happen. Uncle Je says Angel is the draw. Absolutely, yeah. Angel's absolutely a draw. That's not the only reason they picked her, but absolutely, I think she's going to be a huge asset to the marketing of this thing. We got 305 Barbie in the building. All right, guys. So those are the players who are announced so far. Again, there are going to be 30 players in this league. Only 10 have been announced so far. We're going to see how like who else joins this league. I do anticipate us possibly having an A'ja Wilson join this league. Possibly. I think if she is announced as a player, she probably is going to be the last player listed. So Frost, I completely agree with you. Says A'ja probably is going to be number 30 fashionably late. I mean, I think it's one of those things where like A'ja Wilson is the top dog in the WNBA. She is the best women's basketball player in the world, and I think it makes sense to if she's in this league to save her for last, save the best for last, and announce A'ja Wilson last. We'll see ultimately if she actually is in this league, and now also I'm curious to see who else is in this league. What other players are announcing this? Like players like a Kelsey Mitchell, a Nneka Ogwumike, a Skylar Diggins Smith. There's other players in the W that I'm very curious to see if they actually make this if they actually decide to go for this team. So guys, in the chat, let me know your predictions about who you think is going to make this roster. Okay, that would be really, really great. Desi is asking, how will teams be selected? We don't know yet. We don't know. That is something that we still do not know at this moment. Also, we do not know the coaches that are participating yet. All right, they have not made any announcements regarding coaches, though I do think that'll likely happen around November, December type of deal, when we'll probably find out about the coach. Because the big draws are the players. The coaches are not as big of a draw, I would say. Danny says Quita for official broadcasting for Unrivaled. Hey, I would love it. Unrivaled, hit me up. I'm happy to do it. And you ain't really got to pay me much or nothing. I'd do it. I'd be happy to do it.